Welcome back. And we are live for, what am I saying? Only 32 minutes late. This is pretty much on par for me. I think last few times I've been streaming, I've gradually shifted more and more on time. I think the last time I streamed, I was even 2 or 3 minutes late. And it really seemed like it was going to be that case today again. And then life happened. Here we are, 32 minutes late. And that's fine. That is fine because we've actually got something fun today. We're going to do something actually fun, I hope. I've tested it a little bit and it's a bit fun. But basically, instead of the normal thing for my streams is boring ass coding. And Rosie's back already. She just forgot something. Cool, we're good. Staring daggers at her as she leaves. So every other time we've streamed, we've done the same thing. I'm working on my website. I'm working on my library. And like, I wouldn't say it's getting old. Because that implies that it was ever young. That implies that it was ever good. And like, while it is still what I want to be doing, and my dog is getting all worked up about it as well, and throwing a rope around. Well, I do still want to be working on the website and my library. It's not that fun to watch. Because I'm just sitting down to work on it. And I may have a plan. I may be like sitting down going, okay guys, here's my plan for the day with my top-down camera, pulling up my, we're going to work on this and then we're going to fix this bug. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be that boring. I'm still going to be saying all that same stuff. But we're going to spice it up. We're going to make it a bit more interesting. And today, we're going to try something fun. So, as we've got on the screen here, and as we've got in the title, presumably, no mistake programming. What does this mean? I don't know. But the theory is there. So it's not that I'm not going to make a mistake. It's that I'm not going to own up to any of my mistakes. Or at the very least, I'm not allowed to undo any of my mistakes. Because I don't know, some people are probably good enough at typing that and good enough at typing and programming that they know what they want to type. They type it. They don't miss a keystroke. It comes out all fluent. Perfectly, like if their IDE recommends some code and they hit enter, the exact code they want shows up. That's not me. When I program, there's a lot of missed keystrokes, there's a lot of backspacing, there's a lot of giving something a bad name, second guessing myself, implementing something without thinking about it and shifting everything around as I'm going, constantly refactoring. And that's going to be really difficult today because what I'm doing, as you can see in the description, I cannot undo any of my work. I can't hit the backspace key, I can't hit the delete key, I can't do Control Z or Control X. And to verify, to show what I've done. So this is my laptop over here. I'll actually get the right code, the right window where it's meant to go. Give me 1 second. Oh my god, Windows is so amazing. But I had it on this monitor, I clicked to expand on this monitor, and it jumped back to the other monitor. So good. Okay. So we're in code. We're encoding in here. Normally, I'd be typing, what have you, and then, oh no, I miss a keystroke. What do? You just backspace that shit, right? You just type back. I'm gonna kill this music, because it's not fitting the vibe. I have been streaming my own audio to myself. I am so good at this. I'm so good at this. My god. Okay. So you'd normally be programming. You're typing along. You miss a keystroke. What do? You hit the backspace key, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit the backspace key. It's not working. Neither is the delete key. Also doing nothing. All of the keys work fine, but okay, that's fine. I guess just Control Z. Fuck. I prepped for this literal minutes, but yeah. So you can't see it. You can't see it. There you go. Control Z. It ain't doing shit. And how did I do this? How did I achieve this feat? With the magic of Windows Power Toys. So if you're unaware, Power Toys, this thing in Windows, I think anyone can install it. Just Google it. Basically, it's like developer tools, sort of, or just like power user stuff. Things that they could have easily put into Windows, which is like built-in functionality that in theory anyone might want. But with it's a bit awkward. They're a bit not the most user-friendly things, probably a bit more niche than most people would want. So instead of just putting them in the OS, they put them here for people to use if they want. So one of the things is a keyboard manager, which allows you to remap keys and remap shortcuts to whatever you want. So what I've done in here, I've remapped my backspace key to nothing. And I've remapped my delete key to nothing. And I've made it so that if I do Control X, which in code would delete, in VS Code would normally delete an entire line of code, it does nothing. And I've made it so that if I Control Z, which would be undo, it does nothing. In practice, that does not stop me from undoing my code. For instance, in here, like, yeah, oh, I can't backspace, I can't delete. But what I could do is highlight the entire line and then start typing. I couldn't think of a way to automate that. So we're just not going to do that, okay? The reason that I remapped some of the keys was purely just because it's muscle memory. I've been programming for like 8 years or something, and it's in my blood that if I'm typing something and I fuck up, I just hit Control Z or backspace. And I feel like I will keep doing that today. Maybe it would have been fun if I had put in some sort of punishment, like if I hit backspace or Control Z, my code just closes. That would have been fun. Maybe if I do this again, I can add in some punishments. But for now, it's just, they don't work. So it is going to be a bit of self-moderation to get, I'll move this over. This is not fitting nicely. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of self-moderation here in that just because, you know, the mere fact that I can highlight stuff and type over it, I need to just be sure not to do that. And there's also, I could like cheat and in code, I could just comment anything out. I might end up having to do that. We don't know. I played around with this for like 5 minutes before stream. You can see that I ended up having to create a bunch of pointless variables that were just strings containing my typos. I feel like I'm going to do that a lot. But I'm going to have some self-imposed rules as we go on. So yeah, hopefully this will just be fun. I think at the end of the day, I don't want to just do challenges that completely impede my development. Because at the end of the day, I want to actually build something. I want to stream for 4 hours and have a few hours of actual dev work done. And maybe this will just train me to get better and not make as many mistakes. Or it'll prove that I was perfect all along. So yeah, that's where we're going today. Yeah, let's crank the music back up. Oh, damn. Big Shark 124, thank you. Thank you for the follow. I didn't realize anyone was here. Normally, this is my sixth time streaming. I've had at least one follower every time I've streamed, but normally it's been after like 2 or 3 hours. Usually I'm just talking to an empty void, and then just as I'm thinking of going offline, someone follows, someone goes into chat. So you're the first person to join, to follow within the first few hours, let alone I've only been streaming for 10 minutes now. So yeah, thank you so much. And hello. Maybe my putting bullshit challenges in the title actually draws eyes. So, to catch up on what we're actually working on today, beyond just having this arbitrary challenge in place, it did. Cool. Good to know. Maybe you won't be the only one. So, what we're actually working on. Oh, goddamn, I forgot that I do not have a backspace key, and that will impact me in other programs as well. There we go. Okay. So basically LocalBoast is a React library I'm working on that's open source, and I'm just adding a bunch of dumb cool shit in there. And then I've got my website that I'm working on to demonstrate the stuff that I'm building. Some of the dumb cool shit is, for instance, this, a dark light mode toggle that actually animates between the two. That's the one that I'm kind of obsessing with right now. Pretty proud of that. Obviously, I've got the animation going really slow because I'm debugging it. But in theory, we could have any sort of like star wipes or like smooth transitions, because every other website is just really boring. It just, you're on light mode, you click a button, it goes to dark mode. There's nothing fun about it. And that's what we're doing here, is trying to build dumb, cool shit and putting it into my library for anyone to use. So that's one cool thing that I built. And then the other one that I built on stream is this Etch-a-Sketch component. Just get it into a nice place. This one I need to revisit to actually get it finalized, but basically what it is a Twitch bot Etch-a-Sketch thing. So it's listening to my chat. So now if I go into my chat and type down, it draws a line down. And you can also play. Right. Draws a line right. So that's something I built on stream. So this is basically the kind of dumb shit that we're doing. And just in case you missed my announcement, every time I've done this on stream, anytime I've worked on this, it's been a bit boring because it's, me programming, debugging, looking up docs, which some people find riveting. But I'm making it a bit more interesting just by putting this little arbitrary challenge on myself. So without further ado, let's actually get into it. So go to the code. Okay, so in my testing it out, my testing out of this arbitrary imposition, I set up deleting or getting rid of my backspace and delete key. And I just tried to program a bit, do some debugging, try to get it working. But how don't you just forget and Control Z? How don't you just forget and Control Z? Not sure what you mean, but I've changed the mapping in my operating system to make it so that I can't do backspace delete or do Control X to delete a line or Control Z. You're grand. Yeah, me either. I don't know how to type either. That's why I'm doing this challenge, because I typo so goddamn often. So I've remapped my keyboard so that I can't use Control Z, and any other workarounds like being able to highlight the text and type over it, I'm just going to try to not do that because it's against the spirit of the challenge. And yeah, just getting rid of my mappings for the keys is basically just to have stop my muscle memory from instinctively getting rid of this stuff. Yeah, you know the type of problem. I didn't realize how bad I was until I tried this out a little bit before stream. So yeah, purely because I was doing that for sake of demo, I'm just going to let myself get rid of that. There we go. That typo's gone. But yeah, this is what I was having earlier. I was trying to basically, what happened was I had started typing out this condition. We're checking to see, is there some stuff that we've duplicated on the screen? And I realized that I needed to have it out as a variable. But because I had already typed it here, I can't just refactor it to use the variable because we're not allowed to undo any of our changes. So I'd started already creating the variable. Then I realized I did a typo. I didn't want get elements by ID. I wanted a completely different thing by tag name. So what I had to do was just turn it into a string, which I stored over here. And now that string is not being used. What language am I doing? So I'm working in JavaScript, so using React. So the library is built with React, and React is the only thing I professionally know. Been a React developer for 5-6 years. Specifically using TypeScript. So So I don't know if you're familiar with JavaScript or TypeScript, but yeah, it's basically just very similar to JavaScript, but just with some extra little stuff in there saying like, anytime you use a variable or declare a variable, you have to say what type it is. For the most part, it's the same otherwise. Okay, so what I was actually doing, we're just going to have a lot of unused variables and bullshit stuff that I should have refactored and copied elsewhere, but I'm not letting myself because every keystroke I make is perfect and we have to stick with it. I'm still in high school, but my high school is different. It's like uni where you pick what you want to do, and I picked computer engineering. That's awesome. I would have loved if I had the ability to do that. When I was in secondary school, I knew I kind of wanted to get into computers, but I didn't even know how to do that. Like I didn't bother looking into programming or anything. So I just chose subjects that were the closest thing to computers that my school had, which were physics, maths, I can't even remember what else. French. My school did not have options remotely similar to computers. But yeah, now it's my first year and we have class in C++ and HTML, CSS, JS. Cool. That's really handy. Yeah, like I went to university for like 4 years for computer science. And while they did teach us some like really outdated stuff like Java, well, I don't know how outdated Java really is, but like they taught us C, Java, and then some kind of more modern languages, but like they didn't tell us at all about JavaScript, even HTML. I had to like self-learn this stuff after graduating, which is really annoying. But yeah, you've been doing C++ by yourself for a couple of years now. Oh, for robotics, that's awesome. Yeah, I think there was a robotics module in my university that I considered doing, but I think it filled up way too soon. I dabbled a bit with C++ for game development maybe, or we had like a graphics module, so we had to learn a bit like how to just render a triangle on a screen using C++, which was the most visually interesting thing that we did in our entire 4 years. But yeah, robotics sounds awesome. God damn. Yeah, but here I am as a web developer by trade, purely out of circumstance basically. And yeah, that's what I'm sticking with because I'm not bothering to upskill in a completely new line of work. Right. So what we're actually working on here, I showed this transitioning between light mode and dark mode thing. The way that I got this working was a bunch of shady stuff where basically when I click the button, I'm creating a complete copy of the HTML DOM. So just taking the top level body tag and just duplicating it, and then allowing the light mode, dark mode toggle to happen. So we basically got dark mode on top of light mode, and then we're fading out the old dark mode, and vice versa. And what I want to do, and what I've set the code up to be able to do, is for me to be able to click this button multiple times and create sort of a ripple effect, as one layer peels away, and then underneath the next layer peels away, and the next. And it's just not working. You can see that like if I've clicked it once and I click it a second time, it just kills the animation. And that's what I'm trying to debug right now. And hopefully things will get more fun when I actually start typing and just realize how awful I am at typing consistently. So this is a completely pointless condition here. But what I was trying to check is this thing. And it's got a bullshit name because I typoed when I was typing out the name. And what it's doing is checking if we've got more than one body tag on the screen, which tells us that this isn't the first animation that's happening. Because what I want to do is say, if it is not the first animation that's happening, stick a debugger in. Because I want to just put a breakpoint and just find out at what point stuff is breaking. Thank you. I'm glad you think it's sick. I do too. So yeah, basically I've like tried to debug this for hours already, and I might just have to abandon it if I'm not getting anywhere on stream, because it might literally just be me pulling my hair out for a few hours so we could go off and do something more fun. But yeah, so I'm just trying to hope that sticking a debugger in will fix it, and I'm not stopping on breakpoints. Okay, gonna refresh the page and let it actually do its thing. So it just copies the HTML and changes its CSS with animation. Yeah, basically. Yeah, the UI library that I'm using here has a way to switch between light mode and dark mode automatically. So before I added in any of this stuff that I'm working on, it would just be that when you click the button, the entire page would change to black and vice versa. It would like happen instantly. And so what I've done is allow that instant change to happen, but just before it happens, I'm taking a snapshot of how it used to look, and almost as if like I'm overlaying it with an image of how it used to look, and then cropping that out with an SVG layer. And I've got a dog who really wants attention, so as well as typing, oh, okay, now she's barking at me. So yeah, we may need a dog break sooner than I expected, but let's just run with it for now. So when I click this and I click a second time, our debugger kicks in, but it doesn't break the animation. And that's what I wanted to check. I want to find out at what point it breaks the animation. Well, that's really cool. Thank you very much. In school, we do basic stuff, but it's really nice. Yeah, like learning the basic stuff is what you got to do before you do the cool stuff. But yeah, I even remember like when we were doing Java after a year of just straight up C, I remember even the most basic thing of rendering a circle in the screen made me so happy. After a year of working entirely in the console, just learning how for loops work and stuff, being able to, you know, open a graphics window and render a circle, oh, blew my mind. Made me so happy. So yeah, embrace the basic stuff if you're enjoying it, and just know that will be the building blocks for doing just dumb, crazy stuff that you want to down the line. Cool. Okay, so the question is, this debugger has done what I want, and now I want to move it down here. I'm thinking if I move this line, that probably counts as undoing it. So I want to. I think for the future, I'm going to continue with C++. Yeah, like I think that'd be a cool one to keep going with. I know, what is it, like Unreal Engine, I think is still C++. And I think it was always a bit complex for me. Like some of the stuff wasn't that intuitive, the way you've got like header files that I think we first learned them as you can define them inline, but then you have to have them separately as like import header files that are just like what the stubs of what the functions would be. I found it a bit counterintuitive, but yeah, I think being able to know how it all works for the sakes of graphics rendering, that'd just be so cool. Yeah, so definitely continue with that. Okay, so yeah, first roadblock. I can't get rid of this condition. You don't do game dev. So what do you actually work on again? Was it? Oh, the robotics. Right. Yeah, that's cool. Is that robotics something you're doing in your spare time, or is that tied to your high school thing? Right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about how to do this, because I want to have a debugger in all these different places. Do you know what? Okay. I'm just not gonna let myself get rid of them, and I'm gonna embrace having the debuggers in there and figure out how to make this work, because I'm not allowed to get rid of any of them. My love for robotics actually started when I was like 5, when I saw BattleBots vid. That's pretty cool. I got afternoon robotics classes. Oh damn. But they have no association with high school. God damn. That's awesome. Yeah, I was really bad at self-teaching these things. Like I had every opportunity to go out and find a course about how programming works and looking into the stuff that I was interested in. But I just was like, I'll just go to university, learn what they tell me to learn, do what they tell me to do. So yeah, I didn't have that many extracurriculars. So it's awesome that you're going about it yourself. But this year I joined a team that goes to competitions that use Java and Kotlin. So now I assume that's Java. Or is there a whole new language? I don't know. And Kotlin. So now I have to learn 2 new languages. Java. I really like Java. Java was like, I know I said it, that after they taught us about C, just C, we got to learn Java. And I, probably other than JavaScript, because that's JavaScript is I'm way more familiar with now, I always loved Java. I think I love just the whole like typings and how like it's pretty flexible, but everything has to have like interfaces and extending classes and stuff. I think it's just like a really nice way to understand and like learn programming, such that like they taught us Java in second year, and then every other year, whenever we had to learn a new language, they would teach us it like through Java. They'd, you know, bring up a concept and be like, so remember how you can do it in Java? This is how you do it in this language. Because I think it's just like a really clear, straightforward, easy-ish to grasp language. So yeah, have fun with that. I know literally nothing about Kotlin. Don't know how to pronounce it even. Okay, yeah, no worries. Thanks for the follow and have a great day. Enjoy your class. See you. Hope to see you again. Cool. So where we were struggling with is that I put in a bunch of these debuggers because, okay, yeah, I've thought about it. We've got all these debuggers and I basically only want one of them to fire at a time. How will we do this? So the worry is that if the first one fires, but we only want the second one to fire, then we're screwed because the animation will have completed. So what I can do is extend these conditions in a way that will probably screw me down the line. But let's say, and stop first, and stop second, and stop third. I'm being so afraid of doing a typo. Stop fourth. Okay, and now I'm just gonna make a value for each of these. Oh, it should not be I shouldn't have made this a const, because now I won't be able to update it if I mess up. Okay, stop first equal false. So I copied that line down, expecting to go back here and rename it. But I can't rename it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to call this stop second first. And this one will be called stop second first. See how we work around these problems. Except I've just made it false and I don't want it to be false. What I'm going to do is negate this. So we'll keep stop second first false, and our check here will be not that. This is genius programming. Okay. So now I'm going to manually type out the rest of these. Third equals false. No. What was that? Okay. Const. We're good. I just sometimes type my lines, some words from the end and some words from the start, and I type out const. Okay. Now how are we gonna fix this? Sometimes when I'm typing and I've got two lines, what I'll do is I'll type the beginning few characters of one line and then some random characters from the second line. I'll type them together and then split them out. It's just a programmer move. Oh God. Okay, so what I'm saying is, this isn't a single typo of const. No. What I simply did was I started typing. Okay, my dog is so whiny. I'm just gonna play with her for just a couple of minutes, and you can look at pictures of her. No. And the dog won't be a problem anymore. She's fine. I didn't do anything to her. You can hear her jingling there. I did nothing to the dog. Maybe broke her spirits a bit. That's fine. So, see, what we were doing here is, it may look like I typoed the word const with 2 N's. No, you're wrong. You are incorrect, sir. What I did was, I'd started typing the first const, stop, fourth equals false, and the end of a second const, stop, fifth. Oh my god. This is going to be so slow. It's already taken me so long to get workarounds just for this one little goddamn debugger. Okay. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun and fine. Okay, so we've got all these in here. We've got... I'm not even using this one. I'll stick one down here. What was my variable called? And stop fifth. This code is so efficient. It's insane. Okay, so now we've got all our debuggers in, and we have a way of controlling which one fires at a time. And that's by adding more and more negations in at this check. Good. I'm just realizing that with these subsequent debuggers, with these subsequent ones, there was no reason I had to put this first part of the condition in, because that was always going to be true. And I was only beholden to having that in there because I had typoed it in the first place. But I am not making a single mistake, so I meant every one of them. Okay? That's what you don't understand. I meant all of this. Okay. So, now it should be firing at this debugger. Let's test it. I'm just refreshing the page. Sometimes the SVGs go a bit weird after a hot reload. After a hot minute. Okay. So, goes up, and I click a second one. The animation doesn't break. That's good. It's good to know. Yep, and it's stopping at the second one. Cool. Okay. So now I'm gonna negate this one and negate this one so that it'll stop debugging here and start debugging here. And this is not me undoing any of this stuff. This is not me second guessing a previous implementation. No. That previous implementation was perfect and it shall stay there. I've just extended it by changing in the moment what its functionality does. So let's go over here. Animation didn't break. Okay. Console is first. I forgot I was logging that every time. I messed up typing the word console. So I had to make the typo of console, its own string that I then logged every time. So that's why that bullshit string is down there. Ignore that. It's perfect. I intended it. It's supposed to be that way. Okay, so that one's good. That's passed our check. Let's move on to the next debugger and see, is this the point at which our animation breaks? For anyone tuning in now, what we were doing is working on my website, and I'm not allowed to make a single typo. I literally am unable to make a typo, because if I do make a typo, I wouldn't be able to backspace or delete or Control Z anyway. So every keystroke I make is perfect, and I'm running with it, even if it means ending up with this bullshit nest of pointless conditions and weird variables that aren't doing anything. It's perfect. Okay. And again, that animation didn't break. I'm trying to find at which point my animation breaks because I've got a bug happening where thing isn't working how it's supposed to be working, basically. It's almost the textbook definition of the word bug. But we'll see. Will it even break in this one? Or is the mere fact that I'm debugging causing it to stop working? Let's see. Yeah. Thank you for joining the stream anyway. I see you there. I see you watching. Okay. It's going up. I click again. And it didn't break. That's weird. Although the second animation didn't start. It didn't start at all. This animate ref is meant to have started the animation. Okay, I have a theory. So the fact that debuggering is making it not break makes me think that it's over here in the set timeout where I'm breaking it. Yeah. So I'm going to copy this condition because this is where I'm finding out, is it a second iteration of my animation? This is where I'm going to do that because I think animate ref, I think this is what's breaking everything. So what I'm going to say is, yep, okay. I'm afraid of just pasting stuff in here because I cannot change it if it's not what I want. So I need to make sure that it's perfect first time. So I want to check if this, God damn it. So I don't want this to be 1. I want this to be 2. Which means that I have to just run with this condition, and I'm going to refine it. I'm going to refine it just a bit further. Document.get elements by tag name body dot length. Oh god. Okay, how are we gonna fix this? How are we gonna fix this? Dot length. What can I do with this? I don't know. Oh, I can... Yeah. Sometimes I just like to type the ends of my words before the start of them. That's fine. Or, but you know, sometimes you start typing the start of a word, you type the final letter, then you stick a thing in. It's like, you know, when you read the first chapter of a book. When you read the first chapter of a book, and then you read the last chapter to find out how it ends, and then you go back and you read the middle bit. That's all I was doing there. So yeah, dot length is greater than 2, because at this point we have already added the third body clone. So at this point, and yes, you might think that this outer condition is completely pointless, but you know what? There's a lot of stuff in life that's pointless. Art is pointless. This stream is pointless. If you think about it, all of this is pointless. So stop thinking about it. Please stop thinking about how pointless this is. So in here, we're sticking our debugger. Because I feel like this is what's killing us in this timeout. And it might be that once I catch the debugger, if I step forward the commands, I'll be able to see at what point it breaks. That's my hope. So I'm going to refresh the page because SVGs are a bit shit in terms of hot reload for whatever reason. It's probably my code. No, it's not my code. My code is perfect. I make no mistakes. Okay, so I'm gonna click this once and click it a second time. The animation instantly broke. interesting. So it's the mere fact of this timeout being allowed to happen. No. No, what is it? I don't know. That's really weird. So we're calling the function. When we call the function and then debugger, the bug doesn't happen. The break, the issue doesn't present itself. So this is the function that we're calling, blah, 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 and as part of the function, there's a timeout to it. And then debugging at the start of the timeout, the bug has already happened. It's really weird. Hello to anyone watching. We're debugging my code with arbitrary restrictions put in place in the form of me not being able to hit the backspace key, delete key, or Control Z, and it's making debugging real fun, which is why I'm getting nested conditions like this, because I typed the wrong thing and I just have to run with it. Hope you enjoy this absolute pointless insanity. But so what I'm trying to debug is this this flashy thing here I've got where I'm animating between light mode and dark mode. And I want to be able to click it a second time and have, you know, you're on light mode and then you're transitioning to dark mode, but then if you click it a second time, it'll start transitioning again, but it won't kill that first animation. So that in theory, if you like click the button 10 times quickly, that there'd be sort of like a ripple effect. I think it would be really bad for efficiency. I should probably need to put like a max stacking option in the API, but this is what I'm playing with. And for whatever reason, I have not made a mistake. No mistake programming. The code is perfect, but the animations are just breaking sometimes. And that's what I'm debugging. For some reason, when that second transition starts, it kills the first transition, and I don't know why. And I'm hoping that just talking through it will make it clear in my mind, but it's not. It's not. And what we found there is that basically we've got a timeout to allow for the new clone, the new changes to be actually added to the screen before we start animating them. And in the time between calling this set timeout and actually acting upon it, or the timeout actually calling back, the animation has broken. So I'm thinking it's actually got nothing to do with the timeout, but rather, where is it? Here, where we're creating a new we're creating a new DOM element and attaching it. That only actually gets added to the page asynchronously. So I think that must be what's breaking us, is that upon this getting added to the page, shit's hitting the fan. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I'm going to stick a debugger in here and inspect the DOM. We're getting dog cam. Good news, everyone. The dog wants to sit on my lap. By which I mean she wants to be taken out, but she's not able to be taken out. Okay. So it pauses here. After we've created our SVG and supposedly attached it to the page, I want to see, has it actually been attached at this point? And it hasn't. Which is really interesting. So I paused the script, but this isn't happening through a script because we've already added it through a script. We're just waiting for a page refresh, I guess. I think that's how that works. And so I guess that's happening through JavaScript, maybe? because as soon as I unpause, it actually gets added. And it's upon that being added a second time that the page breaks. I want to check something. I do want to check something real quick. Where is that? So, oh, what was it I was going to check? Ooh, I cannot remember. I've already forgotten. I haven't forgotten shit. This is no mistake programming. I'm just going to keep talking until I remember. And that means that's the same as not forgetting. So what I had thought of there was, yeah. So when I'm cloning the stuff, I'm not getting rid of the class, any of the classes from the elements. I'm basically taking the styles that they've currently got based on what class are applied to them, and I'm applying those styles to the thing. And I had originally intended to then just get rid of the class so that changes to the class don't affect the thing on the page. But that kind of broke the styling. So I commented that out because it seems to just work fine. But I'm wondering if changes to that class are affecting stuff like the opacity and the background color. No, I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was what's killing us. Yeah, so we can see it is breaking the layout if I get rid of classes, which is weird. I don't know why that's the case, given that I'm applying their inline styles inline, but it's fine. Okay, that's actually an interesting thing to think about. So what's there on the screen is the new snapshot, because what's getting overlaid is my copy, and then that's peeling away. And when I do it a second time, what's being overlaid is the newest copy. So if I just don't animate it, if I just do not animate it to get any bigger, what's going to happen? Is the first one or the second one going to be overlaid? That's what I want to find out now. And how am I going to do that without getting rid of any of my code? Wait a minute. Did I get rid of my code for this thing? I did. Ooh, I did it bad. I got rid of the class, the comment here. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Classes. Instead of just commenting it out, I'm just going to make it conditional. I'm going to stick this remove classes to just be a contradiction, or whatever you call them, things that are permanently false. Is it a contradiction? I'm trying to remember computer science, that like if something is always true, I think that's called tautology. I can't remember what it is when it's always false. I think it might be a contradiction, but that seems wrong. Okay, so that's not going to be doing nothing no more. What I want to see now, const animate. So I've already given that a lowercase a, so I can't upcase it. Would have been nice, but yeah, we're fine. I like lowercase naming. We're good. Should animate false. So where we are then calling our animation, I'm just gonna wrap that in a condition. Sorry, my dog is a bit rabid right now. She's snarling in the background, whipping her toy around. genuinely very problematic for trying to stream and make content. Having this insanely needy dog. I took her out already. She's been out. She's eaten. She's getting to watch ducks on TV. She's literally living the life. And yet she's wrecking my head. What did I call it? Should animate. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, that's fine. I thought I was typing on the wrong line. Whew. Should I typoed with an uppercase A, which means I now have to change the variable to have an uppercase A and a lowercase a. Mate. Oh, I'm just so afraid of typing it wrong. If should animate. So where's that defined? He's up here. Yay, you finally get your uppercase A. Sadly, you also have a lowercase a, but it's fine. We're fine. Should animate is false. So now we're not going to be animating at all. And hopefully the animation isn't like inherent to the cropping logic. Problem is it's going to be scale of 0 for the crop. That's fine. That's fine because we're seeing what's overlaying, and what's overlaying. I'm going to refresh the page just in case it's broken, because it keeps breaking. So when I click this, nothing happens. That's fine. Yeah, nothing happens because it's the snapshot of what was there before we click the button. Right? That makes sense? So I click the button, nothing happens. Okay. So I think that is correct, because we're taking one snapshot and it's going to the top, and we're taking a second snapshot and it's going underneath that original layer. That's what you're seeing there. And then it goes back to being the actual page. So my stacking logic is correct. No. Here. She's demanding her second of 5 walks of the day. You get to go out when we fix the bugs. And by bugs, I mean intended features of the program. Because I don't make mistakes. So, yeah, just if not, should animate. And that'll allow it to start animating again. I'm really hoping I've just done something dumb, like I'm referencing the wrong ID. And I hope it's not something fundamental, like you can't have 2 SVGs animating on the page at the same time. That just seems like, a wrong. That seems like the kind of thing that wouldn't exist. Can't be the case. But hey, I didn't say it earlier. 10 followers. 10 Twitch followers. Goddamn. 1/5 of the way to being an affiliate. And all it took was 2.5 weeks. Progress is slow, but progress is consistent. That's all that matters. We're going to get there. If all it will take is a total of 10 weeks. It's a long time. It's a long time to start being able to earn ad revenue. Pennies a day. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. So what is my next avenue for debugging going to be? Tell you what my next avenue is going to be. Giving my dog something to play with so she stops coming to me. And we're back. I gave her a little dentist stick, a nice little chew. And that'll probably appease her for, oh, she's already done. That was a joke, but she's like halfway through it. And I'm just sat down. My hope is that it just makes her calm down, just makes her lie down, makes her realize that life's okay. Makes her understand that lie. To the code. Okay, where we're at. Got a bunch of bullshit conditions. What am I saying? Bullshit. It's all perfect. No mistakes. Hashtag. Am I actually still live? Feel the need to check in on it. Yeah, cool. So, where we're at. It's animating. It's breaking everything. Breaking everything on the page. So what I want to see is it the nature of the animation, the animate function that's doing it? Or is it just the mere fact that a thing is being added to the page? So, what I'm going to do is, I am going to animate it. Or I'm going to call this animate function. And over here, there's the coffee stream bot showing up in chat, promoting my donation page for anyone feeling like donating. It's also a Patreon. Have I set that up? Patreon. No, I should probably set that up. Got Discord though. Yeah, there it is. My whole screen just flash? Or is that just me? Did my eyes flash? Probably that one. Cool. So yeah. What I want to see, does calling this do anything? This isn't what's breaking it. This is not what's breaking it. And I'm pretty certain because when we debuggered here previously, it was still already broken by that point. So I think it's something to do with the thing actually being added to the screen. like a copy of the thing being added to the screen already. Something about the nature of the SVG breaks it. I'm just going to look at it and just make sure that I haven't like hard coding an ID or something. We'll see. So yeah, the mask has an ID with a unique value. The shape has an ID with a unique value. Should be fine. Should all be good, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I think we might be getting close to the point of me giving up doing this off stream, because this just isn't working and I'm not figuring it out, and I've already gotten my follower. And that's all I care about. Is my YouTube chat actually working? I haven't had a YouTube chat in so long. Why is this completely broken? What the hell is wrong with YouTube? Live chat. So this window is just completely broken. YouTube, fix your shit. Is it because the screen's too small? Yeah? No? Kind of? Okay, so I can finally access it. Test. Is it going to come up? I don't know. Is YouTube... Oh, there, it popped up. Fucking hell. That took so long. And it's still not even showing in my integration. In my OBS thing. I don't know. I guess it's a good thing that no one is watching on YouTube. Unless you are watching on YouTube, in which case, hello. Did you know that you can show in my chat overlay for YouTube? It's happened once before. Now the cat is being needy. As soon as the dog calms down. And my plan worked. She's sitting over there, happy as Larry. Her name is Luna, but happy as Luna. Sitting down, belly full of chew toy. Now the cat's upset because the dog's happy. The joys of working from home. Maybe today is just not a day for streaming. I don't know. Been going a little over an hour. So it's not like a complete failure of a stream. Not a complete failure to launch. It would just be great if I fixed this bug. I think it's such a cool feature, and being able to click it multiple times and have the animations just not completely break would be lovely. But yeah, I do really need to take time to work on YouTube videos. So I might potentially call it here, just because I feel like my brain is not going to figure this out live on camera. Yeah, I really need to work on YouTube videos, because to be able to get any attention on the Twitch, I gotta have people discover me on YouTube, because that's just how things work apparently. And also, squeaky ass mic stand. Yeah, just gotta draw some attention to YouTube, so there we go. LocalBoast and Connor Kelleher on YouTube. Yeah, today was a bit of a failed stream, but I kind of expected it to be. The challenge was fun, but I think this was the wrong thing to be working on for it. If I was building something from scratch, then it'd be a lot more fun, I think, or at least it would come up more often. But yeah, apologies if anyone's watching. and wants to keep watching, feel free to follow. And you'll see next time I'm live, and hopefully I'll actually have something to develop rather than just bug fix. But yeah, maybe at the very, if nothing else, I've gotten my follower, and I might have content for a few YouTube shorts, or compile this into a longer thing about the challenge run with different videos. But yeah. Thanks anyway. I'm gonna stop. See you next time.